What's up, everybody? So far we've talked mostly about our BCDs and you know ways of flotation and stuff like that, holding our gear. Today we're going to talk about something else. We are going to talk about how we move in the water. Um, so I have, I've since I started diving, I've been trying to find the best gear for me, which means that I've tried a lot of stuff. I've bought a lot of different gear, tried to use it for a while, then decided it wasn't for me, bought something different, and that's how it goes. It's a never-ending process. So today we're going to talk about a few pairs of fins that I have. Let's jump right off and let's start with the very first pair I ever bought. These are the Scuba Pro Jet fins. They are a very classic design. I want to say they were designed in 1966, I believe. Um, I've heard different stories on who the very first company to come out with this design was. But to be honest with you, pretty much every one of them is the same as far as how it looks. Now, the design of this might look the same as a few other brands. However, it is not the same. Um, as you can see, basically what you got is a large rubber fin. Um, you got a couple of small holes here. That's really, I guess, really for drag, maybe. And then you have some slits right here. I don't know if you can see it real well. That actually have water flow. These are very heavy. They are very bulky. However, um, in the world of diving, these are kind of like a torque monster. Okay, um, they're not. You're not gonna kick fast with them, but they do provide a lot of power when you actually do kick. Um, I know lots of people that swear by them. They have not. They won't change. This is the end and everything for them. These have been my favorite ones for years. I still love them. This is the first pair I bought. This is actually the same fin that my dad had when he was diving back in the late 70s, early 80s. I prefer to have the plastic. I mean, not the plastic. The rubber. Um, I can't think what you call it now. The rubber strap. Although they did come out with a spring strap, I personally am just not a fan of the spring strap. I prefer the rubber strap. I've tried it, didn't like it. Um, they tried to improve these upon, they made them into a split fin. This is the jet fin. They made a twin jet fin. Um, I don't remember when, but it was a split fin. And instead of making it out of rubber like this one, it was made out of what they call monoprene, which is what a lot of their new fins are made out of. Um, I bought a set of those because, when they came out, there was a whole lot of hype about them. However, I absolutely hated them. Anybody out there that's got split fins or thinking about getting some split fins, maybe you're a new diver and somebody sold you on, oh, split fins are easier. Uh, Save your money, go buy a regular pair of fins, okay? Split fins are terrible. Um, I mean, I guess there's somebody out there that probably likes them, otherwise they wouldn't still be making them, but I don't know anybody. But so anyway, now the reason why I say there's a lot that look like these, but they are not the same. All right, so this is the Scuba Pro Jet fin. Uh, when I bought a dry suit, um, the boots for my dry suit would not fit these. I could not get a pair of the jet fins that were big enough to fit the boots on my dry suit. So I ended up having to go and I bought these ISTs. Looks pretty much the same, right? This is the IST Rocket fin. Um, this was the only company that made a fin big enough to go on my boot that I could find. Now that being said, these are a little newer. They did put drain holes in the foot on these. which that's one thing that the jet fins don't have. But those, the new jet fins might, mine are, 20 something years old. So the new ones might have drain holes, but anyway, the IST Rocket fins, they do have one. These do not perform as well as Scuba Pro Jet fins. That is not an opinion, that is a matter of fact. And anybody who wants to argue that, yeah, I'll take that argument, because these are pretty terrible. I'm not really a big fan. But anyway, this is the IST Rocket fins. Basically, they're made out of heavy duty rubber, but they're not as heavy. They're not as heavy duty rubber, I don't think, because they seem easier to bend. They seem thinner. So I don't know. Personally, like I said, I'll just go with Scuba Pro over the IST. Okay, that's the first two fins out of the way. Let's go to the next set we got here. These are the Scuba Pro Go Sport fins. This is a what do you call it? Open heel. They do make this. This is only made in open heel, but this is made to be worn with boots. Now these are great for travel. These are made out of monoprene. They're nice and light. If you see here on the bottom, they do have a little bit of traction there, and that little Scuba Pro S there, it is kind of a rubber feel, so you can get a little bit more traction with that if you're on a boat and it's slippery. These have a nice big wide hole right here. I'm pointing that out because I don't like it. Your foot kind of ends up getting kind of squished down in there. So that's one thing I don't like. Let's see. Now the bands on them, they're not rubber. They are, let's see if I don't know if you can see it here. They're like a bungee cord. Now they are replaceable, so if they get worn out or whatever, you can replace it. They're very soft. They are very soft. They are very light. They are very good for travel. I actually bought these when I was going to the Bahamas, and I was trying to make sure I had all my gear with me when I went. Make sure I take everything and not miss anything. These were extremely light because I was trying to stay underweight, and I was trying to fit everything on the carry-on because I didn't want to check bags. But anyway, these worked great for what I used them for down in the Bahamas. I would definitely use them again, but my issue with them is they're a lot more giving, mainly this strap. There's a lot of flex when you got the strap versus these. When you put these on, they're on you. They're not coming off. And maybe as I'm just used to that, and so these don't feel as stuck to your foot. It could be because how nice and soft they are that you don't feel in there. But all in all, it is a good fin. I would recommend this especially for travel, especially if you're going to go somewhere where the water's not warm, because you can wear a boot with it. All right, so that's this one. Now,